The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to Fred in St. Pete. Hey, Fred, what's going on?
Hey, my man, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
No complaints of being positive. Just started listening to your show recently, and you've been more spot on than everybody else on the TV. And you just came across real positive.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, after I listened to you, I got hooked on. I had to track you down and find you on the internet and everything else.
Well, you know, I got to give you this disclaimer, because this is what it is. Fred, this is like Hotel California. Once you check in, you can't check out, you know.
I see that. It's like a drug.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 3 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Take action on your ideas. Doing your best means to take action. You can have many great ideas in your head, but without action upon an idea, there'll be no manifestation, no results, and no reward. And we talk about taking action, folks. I'm right beside my partner, Steve Rhodes here. And bottom line, he has an outstanding webinar tonight, 6:30. 6:30 to 7:30.
6:30, 7:30. All about taking, not action.
Massive action.
That's right.
Massive action.
I love it.
Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 83, NASDAQ up 31, S&P's up 11, gold contract up $46 at $1,710 an ounce. Bottom line, folks, Bernanke and the boys, we come out, we're going to have low interest rates to 2014.
Forever.
Listen, man.
Wow. Interest rates are low forever.
It's a beautiful thing. I can get into the low interest rates. What is going to be, we'll... at 5:35 today, folks, I'm going to have John Taylor on. John, that's the Taylor rule. He had an op-ed today in the Wall Street Journal. We'll see what he has to say about it. He's into Go Long America like we are, but he's into jobs.
Yeah, so am I.
And no intervention.
I'm into jobs. I'm into helping people do things that they never possibly could have imagined with their business, with life. That's what the webinar is all about. That's what that worksheet is. It really is all about Go Long America.
It is.
You started it, baby.
It is, man. It is. And folks,
and Kudlow, we got to get. You got to give him to pay your royalty on King Dollar.
I don't know. I know. Jeff said that he came up with it first, so I guess he might.
Well, he's got to grandfather you in then.
Yeah, totally, totally. And folks, you can sign up for Steve's webinar if it's free, right at TFNN.com.
Yep.
Okay, let's go take a look at the good old S&Ps out here. So, what do we have? Cash S&P, you're at 1326. He did 800 million, still not enough, but bottom line gets to a higher high. That's saying that, that high out there is game. There's no doubt about it, So we'll see if, in fact, this is going to be a one-day wonder. It's going to have some follow-through. The SPY did 176 million shares. The October 26th, of course, is 300. You're at 132. The lows of the highs are 133.76, so that looks to me like it is game. Dow Industrials, what the Dow did, she hasn't broke the top yet. Well, I guess, no, we're at 12,750, and that high out there is, no, I think she did. Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She's over the highs of July.
Yeah, but she's right into the low of May 2nd.
That's a beautiful.
The low on that is 12,732, and you're I'm looking at the futures. I'm looking at the futures. I'm sorry, I got the futures up, so it'd be just a little bit different.
Oh no, let's bring it back though. So May, let's take a look.
May 2nd. Yeah, May 2nd, 11. Yeah.
So. Oh yeah, I see. Oh,
yeah, I think it's right into about the low. Huh?
Yeah, because the highs there are 12,008. Yeah, and the lows. Oh, look at that. The lows are 12,784. Yeah, we're 12,758. Okay, cool.
It's really everything is kind of lining up. I've never seen all 4 of these, indexes line up with regard to patterns. I mean, we're really at an inflection point. And what I mean by that, folks, is, and I just have the futures contracts on my screen, but you take a look at the NASDAQ futures, completed a butterfly pattern, today.
Yes.
The ES Mini finished a butterfly. It was 1327 is exactly where it had to get to. And where did it get up to? 1325? I mean, that's close enough.
That's wild.
I mean, that's
man.
close enough. You know, the Russell 2000 had to get to 797. Where'd that get to?
Wow.
795.30? I mean, you know, it's good enough.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so everything is really set. It's really at what's cool is it's at that inflection point where either this is it or it's going to go forward and we can identify what the next prices are.
Yep.
And it's all set up, so it's pretty amazing.
There's no doubt. And now, when you take a look at this, folks, okay, so let's go over here for a minute. Okay, so let's go to the 3 Qs. So the 3 Qs, that's all you're going to hear about everywhere. The 3 Qs are 11-year highs. Big deal. You know, you're at 60.43. You did 60 million shares. You got over the swing point there of 104 million shares, which was on the 27th. You bring this baby back, and, you know, it's basically launched that whole area. Now, the real keys, to me anyway, we'll see, you know, can it hold these levels?
Yeah.
And if it does... If it does, and you get something in it, well, then there will be some juice. I'm not there.
For sure.
I'm definitely not there, but we'll see where that shakes and bakes. Let's go to gold, because this is pretty wild. And we take a look at the gold contract, folks. Now, the gold contract today finally got some juice into it. You did 225,000 contracts. That 225. No doubt, gets rid of some of that supply line. The supply line that we have out there, folks, has 245 and 285. We go into the GLD. We take a look at the GLD, and what you have inside the GLD it's a little bit different. The GLD did 28 million shares, and that's not bad, but you're still banging into 52. So is the top of the consolidation game? Yeah, and that's a 0.618 of the whole move.
Yeah. Boy, at 1 p.m., gold just took off.
Yeah, no doubt. And what that's all about, folks. No two ways about it. That's about the Fed comes across and said, okay, listen, short-term rates are staying out here until 2014. Now, bottom line is that what that's all about, no doubt, is you can see that the housing market is moving again.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily. Now, this is where this gets interesting. This is where the battle still takes place between inflation and deflation.
Yeah.
Because
right.
The deflation is still in people's, well, I think it's already been built into the people's balance sheets. But there's plenty of folks, I think, that think they have a little more in their balance sheet than they actually do when you're taking into consideration what your main asset is, which is your house.
Yeah.
Good point. There's no two ways about it. Hey, look at this. Look who's out there. We got our man Rick from British Columbia. What's going on, brother?
How you guys doing today?
You've been on hold this whole time?
Not that long.
Since this morning?
Well, since this morning. We couldn't get you this morning when you called in.
I made a few trades after that.
Okay, all right, good.
I pulled my sell order on Harmony because I think it's going higher tomorrow. But anyway, I'm actually going to ask about the IWM, but just a few things, Steve.
Yeah.
I think the way the stars line up is kind of like the Bible. We sometimes all analyze it in different ways, and I was just curious. The Bradley model.
Yeah.
This Saturday. It's the 28th. Do you pay attention to that much?
I don't pay as much attention to that because from a timing standpoint. But here's what lines up. Is on Monday you've got the lunar cycle with the moon at apogee. Apogee, yeah. And so that would be lining right up with that. And, in apogee and perigee, 2 lunar cycles, folks, have been working really well.
Well, I wonder if that's what the Bradley model also analyzes, is what I'm trying to get at.
It takes in a number of factors, but I'm not an expert on the Bradley model.
Okay.
I can overlay it on my charts and so forth. And but, the lunar trading strategy has been working really pretty well when you take a look at the probability side. I mean, more than 70% of the time.
Right.
With regard to shifts and turns in the markets.
Right.
But we'll see. But one thing's for sure. I mean, if there were any form of quantitative easing, it's pretty simple because we've gone through 1 and 2, and all you got to do is just simply take out the dartboard and put your money in whatever stock you want.
Yeah.
You know.
So anyway, one thing, and like I say, I learned a lot of things from Tom here, and you too, Steve. And I noticed 3 days ago we had that doji, and I respect those things. They work both ways.
Yeah.
Up and down. And I measured it, and it depends on which low you use. If you use that low that was just under the 76 or whatever, but it takes us just above 80 a little ways, and we confirmed a small little ABC up. As far as gold goes, Newmont had volume today to the upside, so that says we should go higher as well, if you parallel that. But I was just curious. Now let's go on a weekly and see, or even if I can't really look on a daily that well, but where do you think we're running into now?
What are we talking about?
IWM.
Oh, the IWM.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I mean, there's that huge high volume day down at 81. Is that 81? Is that the top end of it?
Well, it's the top end. I mean, that's 69, right? Oh, you're talking about on the way up.
Yeah, what are we running into now?
Yeah, you're running into 81. But 81 doesn't have any juice. You know, where the juice is up at 82.05.
A 1.272 butterfly completed at 79.75. It got up to 79.57. Just decided to reverse the last two digits.
I'll take it.
You know, so that's why I was saying in the first segment is that, you know, we've got things lining up and we're at this inflection point. If we were to teach butterflies, Gartleys, what have you, you know, everything is really lined up there. You're overneath that October 27th area, you know, the X marks the spot, if you will, on lighter volume. And if it fails here, that just means that what the IWM is going to do, if it fails in this area, well, it's going to be at 1.618. It says it's got $83 written all over it. Well, is that what you were saying, Rick? 83 or?
Oh yeah, no. You put it on a weekly. I always look and see where did we start going up on real light volume, and it's you know, you can look at the Qs especially.
Yeah.
And you know, we can get a nice little healthy pullback here, but I think we're still going higher for another day or two yet. It's kind of what it looks like to me anyway.
Could be. The small caps, though, specifically, they were struggling, you know, early on. They weren't getting a ton of juice, you know, even after the news. I mean, they finally edged their way up. But let me tell you, I mean, the pattern-wise, you've got it all. This is textbook stuff. We got to take pictures of this for, you know, the art of the timing the trade number 3.
Yeah. No, the art of the charts. Cooking.
You know?
Cooking, brother.
Thanks a lot, man.
Let's go to Mike in Lakeland. Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Good stuff. I just wanted to share with you, you may already know it, and I'd like to just listen and maybe even watch on the video, discuss it, but good old Joe Granville, he's got a video out, and, you know, you guys know probably better than most that he's the guy who invented the on-balance volume. And he, you know, is looking at the same thing and was just saying that, you know, over on a yearly chart basis that the on-balance volume that we popped on Friday. But I'd like for you to, if you guys could pull it up and take a peek, and I'd like to discuss on-balance volume. He made the comment, Tom, and probably be music curious, says, you know, volume precedes price. And I'm kind of curious if you could give us an education on that.
Well, you know what we'll do? We'll get an education for you. We're going to get Joe on. You stay right there. Well, we'll be coming right back.
All right.